Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel.
I had to put on my reaching hat. Hear me out. Hi, thanks for clicking. I would really appreciate it if you were to subscribe at any point during this video if you enjoy it. But anyway, let's just get to the case. Today we're going to be talking about Suzanne Morphew. She is missing, and as of me filming this video, she has not been found. This story takes place in a very rural town. It's an upscale town, but it's rural in the sense that the homes are very far apart from each other and there's a lot of privacy. So this town is just about 9 miles outside of Salida, not sure, in Colorado. Suzanne and her husband Barry Morphew, they both live at this house together. It was May 10th, 2020, less than 2 weeks ago, Mother's Day. And Suzanne's daughters, Mallory and Macy, called her on their way back from a camping trip in Idaho. They wanted to wish her a happy Mother's Day, but she didn't answer. They got concerned and they called the neighbor, Jean Ritter, and they asked her to check on their mom. It would be Jean who called the police to report Suzanne Morphew missing. When she spoke to police, she told them that Suzanne had gone on a bike ride and never returned. Now, Barry, he used to be a landscaper back in Indiana, but at the time in Colorado, he was a volunteer firefighter. And he was apparently on a firefighting training trip. And so he wasn't there, and supposedly he did not know that she was even missing. So at this point, it's May 10th, and Suzanne, who by the way had just beaten cancer, had not been seen or heard from since May 9th. Suzanne's nephew, his name is Trevor Knoll, he told the media that police found Suzanne's bike just about a few miles away from the house on May 10th, the day that she was reported missing. So the weird part about the bike is that nobody in the neighborhood actually saw Suzanne on her bike that day. So then I started thinking, well, where did the story come from that she was on a bike? Like, the daughters wouldn't know that she was riding a bike. Did Jean see something when she went to check on Susan or Suzanne? How do we know that she was actually on the bike? And when I looked into it, I couldn't really figure out, because police said she had been on a bike ride and never came home. And they got that information from Jean, who either saw it herself and came to this conclusion or might have been told by somebody. And then I started thinking, well, is it possible that the girls called their dad before they called the neighbor to see if he knew where their mother was? It could be that he's the one who said, oh, maybe she just went on a bike ride or something like that. I don't know. I'm just speculating, as I usually do. The only thing that we know for sure about the whole bike thing is that it was found close to the home and that nobody actually saw her on the bike that day. We also don't know what condition the bike was in when it was found by investigators. Was it beat up? Was it in pristine condition? We don't know. Putting the bike thing aside for just a moment. Now it's a few days later and the police are searching a nearby body of water that's also close to their home, a reservoir, I think. That same day that the police were searching the reservoir, the husband makes a video asking for the return of his wife and offering a reward. In the video, he kind of seems to indicate that he thinks somebody kidnapped Suzanne. And it's also this video that really started people's suspicions about him. And I'll play the video for you here.
Oh, Suzanne, if anyone is out there that can hear this, that has you, please, we'll do whatever it takes to bring you back. We love you, we miss you, your girls need you. No questions asked. However much they want, I will do whatever it takes to get you back. Honey, I love you, and I want you back so bad.
How do you feel like he comes off in this video? Do you think he comes off as like a concerned husband, or are you not sure, or does it seem fishy? Like, what do you guys think? So now it's May 15th and Suzanne has been missing for 5 days. The police come out and say that they found a personal item that they believe belongs to Suzanne just west of County Road 225 and Highway 50. This is also very close to the Morphew's home. The police also asked for any neighbors who have home security footage to make sure that the system does not override and record over any footage they may have captured from May 8th to May 12th, which that date range was another thing that made people think that the cops were suspecting Barry. Keep in mind, this is standard. They would have to do this with any missing persons case where the person had a spouse. People always look towards the spouse when something happens to somebody who's married or in a relationship. So I take that with a grain of salt. 2 days after this was announced, the police start searching the Morphew's home. Not only do they search the Morphew's home, but they cordon it off and Barry isn't allowed in there anymore. They take his car and his phone. Barry was seen removing items and leaving from his home right before the investigators showed up. So I don't know if he knew they were coming or it was a coincidence, and he ended up staying with a neighbor in the same area. The media were able to capture the CSI photographers, crime scene investigators, FBI. They were bringing machinery into the home. They were taking out bags of evidence, and they had announced to the media that it's totally standard to search the home and to not allow Barry into his home and take his items and search them, that this was completely standard, and they still didn't come out and name any suspects or person of interest or make any arrests. Barry, the husband, was a volunteer firefighter, so he has a lot of his firefighter buddies, and they of course wanted to help him search for his wife, which is totally normal. And even though the police had told them not to search, not to get involved, to hold back, I get why they would want to search on their own. I mean, I'm not even a firefighter, but I would feel like I wanted to do something. So I can only imagine people with that kind of training and background would feel very capable and like they need to do that and they can't just sit idly by. So the fact that they went against police advice and kept searching for his wife, with him included, I don't think is as sinister maybe as some people are seeing it, as if they're tampering in some way. Then there was also a search that was conducted at a trailer park, and the owner of that trailer park told media, quote, "It's suspicious to me. I don't know what happened, nor does anyone else. Hopefully they will find her alive." People were already kind of looking at Barry a certain way around this time, but it really made him look bad when people discovered where the cops were searching next. The area that the cops were searching was a place that Barry was previously hired to lay some dirt. And you can see that the FBI agents and other officials are photographed sifting through buckets of newly laid dirt and rubble that they dug up. They also took a chunk of cement that had been removed from the foundation of the property. And this property is less than 12 miles from the Morphew's home. When investigators were asked, "Why are you searching this area?" they said, quote, that it was based on information developed during the Suzanne Morphew missing person case. They also said that the property owner is fully cooperating with police and that he is not connected with Suzanne's disappearance. That would lead someone to conclude that through the cops searching the home, searching his cell phone, searching the car, they found out about this job that he had previously done, and they may have thought, oh, that's weird. He just laid some dirt somewhere near the house. His wife is missing. Did he bury her there? Did he bury some evidence there? Let's go and check it out. Again, I'm totally speculating here, but another thing that happened was a reporter was caught on a hot mic. He was talking to, it sounded like his employer, could have been a coworker, and he was basically saying that the police found something, but they didn't want to confirm, and that it's leaning towards homicide. Then he predicted that the next day at around 11 or so, he thinks the police are going to come out very soon and announce that they haven't found that they have in fact found something. That leads me to, now hear me out. These are Facebook rumors. None of this has been confirmed, and that's my disclaimer. Word on the street is that Barry did it. And not only did Barry do it, but he came up with this whole story about the bike, and that he was at the training, and that he actually staged that bike that the cops found, and that he came up with this whole story that she went out for a bike ride, and that in fact the truth is a lot more sinister. The first rumor is that Barry had a girlfriend on the side, and that in fact when he was in the training he was actually with his girlfriend while this happened. This one I'm like, I don't know, maybe. The other one is really interesting, and this is by a guy by the name of John P. Schmitz. And he claims that he has had several fights with Barry at the job site, so he used to work with him, and that, quote, he saw evil in his eyes and that Barry attacked him. Then he also talks about how he tried to speak to the police and nobody wants to talk to him and you may not believe him. And again, I don't know how legitimate this is. Then the third rumor that I've heard, somebody went on Facebook and left a comment saying that they heard a woman screaming, "Help me, I'm kidnapped," in a car that kind of like drove by them around the same time and place that Suzanne went missing, and that they didn't do anything about it or report it because they hadn't heard of the news case about it, which I don't know, that's kind of strange, because if you see something happening in front of you, I don't feel like you would be like, is there a news story about this? Like, you would usually be like, oh my God, am I witnessing it as it's happening? I need to tell somebody because holy crap, what just happened? You know what I mean? Other people got in the comments and were like, I hope you told the police. I hope you're not just saying this. Like, is this true? You need to tell the police this if this is actually true. And so again, not sure if any of that is real or if she contacted police or anything like that. The sad thing is, whenever things like this happen, there's always people who call in with useless information, and it sucks because the detectives have to follow every lead and look into every thing that somebody calls and tells them could be going on. And so a lot of times this could waste their time. People just, I don't know. Those are the rumors. That is the latest that I have for you about this case. Oh, sorry, I got really excited. Have you guys heard about the little preview for the interview with Melanie Gibb? This is to do with the Lori Vallow case. Sorry, the cult mom, Lori Vallow. Okay, so Melanie Gibb, she was her friend. She was with her in the police station with that body cam footage of Lori with Tylee. Melanie Gibb was there. Melanie Gibb was also a very close friend of theirs. Melanie Gibb was also the person that Lori said had JJ, and then her and Chad called Melanie and asked her to lie to police and tell them that she had JJ when she didn't, and she refused to do so. That's Melanie Gibb. She is now breaking her silence for the first time, and it's East Idaho News YouTube channel. I subscribe to them and I am dying. It's coming out on Tuesday, so after Memorial Day. I'll be definitely probably making an update video on Lori Vallow after that comes out. Also, I'm working on a Ahmaud Arbery update video. It's so many things keep happening. There's new footage, new arrests, new things, and I'm trying to deep dive into everything. There's a lot more backstory, so look out for that. Those are my next videos that should be coming out. Again, if you enjoyed this video or are interested in true crime, please subscribe to my channel. I try to get out true crime videos as fast as I can, whenever I can. I don't have a schedule, but I try to keep up. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.